Uh, I don't know if we're getting good video audio. I think we should be good to go. Everything's looking clean on my side. So let's do this today. This is a really simple, easy fix. I love this question. I love this question. How to actually get the right post, the right topic, how to have content. What do you actually need to talk about in your group? And everybody who's watching is leading someone. So if you're in this group, you're leading someone else in another group. You're influencing others. You might not have your own Facebook group or own podcast. You might not have your own YouTube channel, but you definitely have clients and people that you're interacting with and that you're doing stuff with. And it's so important for you to figure out exactly how to make that happen and how to get the right content in place so that you're delivering the right stuff to your market. All right. And what's up, CN? Great to see you. Aaron, great to see you. And Diane, awesome to see you. But it's kind of tricky, right? Sometimes we run out of things to say. We're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about? I have to sit down and write this blog post. I have to create some kind of Facebook post. I have to go live in my Facebook group once a week or once a day or however you do it. What are you going to talk about, right? Good question. So let's figure it out. Here's what I do. And this is so simple. And I know tons of other influencers do the same thing. This is the easiest thing in the world to do. Okay. Mike, awesome to see you. All you got to do is ask questions, number one, or lean in on other influencers in your market. All right. So one of those two things is the easiest place to get started. Let me just say this up front. If you don't have what's up, Marnie? Great to see you. If you don't have a place you're already speaking to, a platform, a Facebook group, or someone else's Facebook group that you co-lead, or an Instagram account that you're really active in, or a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, your own Facebook profile, whatever it is, find some place and get active. That's number one. Absolutely get active. If you don't have anything fancy, a Facebook page, group, or anything like that, you don't want to dig into one, no worries. Just start. Brenda, great to see you. Just start influencing on your own Facebook profile, your own Instagram profile, your own YouTube channel, something simple, whatever is the easiest thing for you to access and to start working on. Absolutely start working on that right now. Like today, make today day one, try to drop content in there 3 days a week, 5 days a week. Great. So glad Dennis is joining us, Brenda. That'd be super fun. It's always great to see both of you. Try to do something wherever you are right now. Again, don't overthink it. If you're worried like, oh my gosh, I have to have a Facebook group and I have to invite all these people and be active in it constantly. If that sounds overwhelming, I get it. But be active wherever you are. Okay. Even if it's just your personal profile on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, just produce content. Okay. Now, produce content at a pace that you know you can keep. Let's just dive into this before we get to the exact right post that you can post. Produce content at a rate you know you can keep up with. So if it's once a week, if you're like, hey, I could write a blog post or a little Facebook post or do a video or something once a week or once a month or every other week or 3 times a week or every day, whatever, great. But if you've never done this before, what's up, Dennis? And Marilyn, great to see you. If it's something you're just getting started at, really be careful, because if you kind of think, oh my gosh, I got to do this every day, I'm so excited, it's going to be really hard. All right. Producing content every day is difficult. It really is. And depends on your structure and what your strengths and weaknesses are. But go with your strengths. If you're a video person and you love talking to a camera, then do video. You'll notice that most of my posts are video and most of my posts are Q&A oriented. I'll tell you why in a second. Some people just love writing and they can knock out 300, 500 words in like 15 minutes and it's amazing writing. If that's you, do it. If you look back at my personal profile, the last thing, or in here, the last thing I wrote was probably a month ago. I mean, I'm not a good writer, so I don't write very often. So do what you're good at and then pick a frequency that you can live with and be conservative, all right? You can always throw in a couple extras, but be conservative. It's not about being a show off and getting it done every day, 7 days a week. That's really, really difficult. I've tried, believe me, it's really hard. And I failed at getting it every day for 7 days a week. I tried to do it for a year. I think I got like 3 or 4 months in, and then I went to 5 days a week. And even then I started tapering off when I had that big push that I was trying to do. Anyway, you'll get there. Pick a frequency that works for you. Pick a location you're already in. Don't get fancy. Don't let it overwhelm you. If you don't want to go create a podcast, if you don't want to go create a virtual summit, if you don't want to have a Facebook page or group that you have to manage, then don't do it. Just drop stuff on your personal profile. You're going to get traffic. You're going to get recognized. You're going to build a brand. You're going to be known as an expert. It will start to happen. All right. Frequency in a place that you'll actually do it. Doing something is more important than the perfect thing that you do. So doing something is more important. Pick a spot, do it. All right. I've exhausted that. I'll move on. Here's how you pick content. All right. 2 ways. Let's go with the simplest way first. The simplest way is just lean into some other influencer in your market that you like and respect and look at their past posts, their past podcast titles, their past blog titles, Facebook group, whatever it is they're doing, wherever they're putting content out, email sequences that you're a part of, that you're following another influencer. If they're talking about something, read through it and just be like, oh, that topic, I could talk about that topic. Great. Put it on a list. I have a list that's like endless topics right now because I find stuff that pops up. I hear another speaker. I'm reading a book. I'm looking around at what other people are doing, and I find what someone's doing. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so simple. What's up, Rebecca? Great to see you. I find things that are so simple to do, and I just jot down the notes. I'm like, I can talk about that. For instance, Ron, thank you. Won't say your last name, Ron. You're welcome to jump in. But Ron is the one who asked this question, okay? Now, I teach a mastermind, and Ron is in my mastermind. And Ron asked me yesterday in the mastermind group Q&A, how do you pick topics for your post? I lean in on what people ask me all the time. Believe it or not, everyone in this group generates 99% of the content that I teach, okay? I just simply ask questions and let people ask questions. And when I do that, what's up, William? Awesome to see you. When I do that, it brings an enormous amount of content to the forefront that people actually want to know about. So I hadn't thought of answering the question, how do I think up content, until Ron asked it yesterday. But when someone asks a question, it gives you content. So another simple way, if you don't want to lean in on what other people are teaching, I don't mean plagiarizing them. Don't copy paste someone's blog title or someone's podcast title and drop it into your Facebook Live and start talking about it. That's not cool. But everybody is asking very similar questions, right? And everybody's answering very similar questions. It's not uncommon. Any question or answer you see out there has been asked and answered 1,000 times over on every platform imaginable. So there's nothing new out there. Don't worry about that. Just simply find something you like, oh yeah, I can answer that. That resonates with me. That fits my market well. I'm gonna drop a quick answer. Here's my version of that answer to that question. Easy way to do topics. You don't have to title it Q&A. You can just simply rephrase the question or rephrase the comment or content into a great catchy, title. I'm not a good copywriter. Ask a copywriter how to word it right. Another thing to do is super simple, and that's the Q&A. If you do have a group, or if you have a Facebook profile, or just your own personal Instagram profile, or whatever that you just hang out, LinkedIn, whatever, wherever you're at, just simply asking questions to your market. If you have a page or some community that you're leading, like Elite Agency Inner Circle here for me, if you have that kind of thing where you're leading a group, it's really easy to ask questions. And if you have a small group, like 10 people, totally fine. Just simply reach out. If you have no group and you're just reaching out to people that you know are in a niche that you're interested in leading, then just simply reach out to people you know in that niche on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, wherever, and just ask them, hey, putting some blog content together, putting some video content together, just doing Q&A. What are your top 2 pain points? What keeps you up at night? What makes you worry the most about your business? What do you wish somebody could solve for you right now? Just ask questions. I'm telling you, people will give you the answers, and it's so easy. And then you know exactly what your market wants. Amazing way to create content, by the way. If you're wondering what to sell, what your offer should be in your agency, if you're wondering what digital info product you might want to build a course around or whatever, asking questions from people you know in the market. What's really worrying you right now? What keeps you up at night? What are the things you wish you could fix about your business, your life, your place, whatever it is that you're trying to get into? Ask them. What's up, Brennan? Great to see you, dude. Brennan, can't wait to have you on here tomorrow. Brennan's just jumping in here. And Brennan Hammonds is joining us on our live Q&A tomorrow. He's a fantastic leader. So much experience in the agency space. So thrilled to have you on tomorrow, dude. So that's tomorrow at 10 a.m. live Q&A with Brennan. Just simply asking questions is the way to get the data you need to actually create good Q&A content, good blog post, good video, whatever it is. Content and being relevant to the question they have and the answer they want is way more important. Hear this loud and clear. This is the last thing I'm going to say. If anybody has questions, fire away. Having the right content, meaning answering questions or dealing with real pain points that you've really heard from your market, not what you just imagined them to be, but what you've really heard. So just simply asking questions. Hey, what's going on? How can I help? Is there anything I can write a blog about that would help you? It's free. I'm just putting blogs together. That is going to get you the data you need. And that's going to create relevant content. Way more. That's way more important than good quality video or audio or a catchy headline or how big your Facebook group is, or your Instagram following, or whatever, or how many flashy frame changes you have on your YouTube video. It comes down to, do they really want to know the answer to that question? Are you really generating something that's helpful? All right. That's what's most important. So ask questions, one-on-one message people. Hey, what's working? What's not? What are you worried about? If I could create content around one thing that's absolutely free, just dropping it out there in a free post, what would you want answered? I'll do the research. I'll do the homework. I'll get you an answer. You will get questions. You'll be able to provide amazing content. If one person gives you a pain point or a question, I promise there are thousands of others with the same exact pain point or question. It will be relevant. So yeah, Brenda, I'm excited too. And Brenda, great way of finding out content, Chris, because I just recently started a blog on our site, but I'm now running out of ideas. I know, right? You kind of get into it, Brenda, and then you're like, oh boy, I've got all these 10 ideas. It's amazing. And then like 10 days later, you're like, now what? What do I talk about? Our vacation from last summer? Do they want to know about that? So anyway, yes, asking questions, so easy. So ask questions, two options here. This is what I've done every time I've started any niche in any market. I've done the same exact thing. I've simply gone out and mimicked what other leaders in that niche are doing. Feel free, like I mean that sincerely. Feel free to look through the Facebook lives that I do every day in this group right now and pull out content. I'm telling you, if you're working with any business owner in almost any genre, the content that's in this Facebook group, even though I talk directly to creative and digital agency owners, the content in this Facebook group is applicable to any service-based business and most product-based business. It's just business. So feel free, dig down through here, grab ideas. I'm telling you, none of this is copyrighted. Have at it. Enjoy. Brenda, yep, exactly, for real. So let's do that. So either go back, find influencers that you like, and look at their content and pick up ideas and just riff on that and go with it, right? Again, don't go out and scalp anybody's stuff, but go out there and look at what they're doing and talk about the same stuff. If a influencer who has a legit following and they're active and they're making money, they're selling, they're doing the right stuff, if they're out there doing it, then they're resonating with their market. So their content is relevant. All right. If their market lines up with your market, feel free. The second thing is ask questions. Just simply private messaging, even if you don't have a large group and you can't drop some huge conversation starter question in there with some big rainbow background. What keeps you up at night? Top 3 things. Go. You know, those kind of questions, which by the way, I think are annoying. But they're good. They're good data points, right? They really are. I don't ever reply to those things, but I do look at the data feed and I'm like, there's a lot of good data in those comments. Those things are fantastic places to find really good topics to talk about. If somebody else has created the conversation flow, grab it, dig through it, see what the common answers are, talk about it. If you just want to do one-on-one questions, if you don't have a group, another way to do it. All right. That is it. That is the answer to Ron's question. Ron, thank you again. Really appreciate the question. I told you I would answer that question today, so there you go. And the simple answer is, when people ask you questions, answer their questions. Or if you want to go out and copy some folks, do it without plagiarizing, awesome. Or if you want to generate your own questions and get people to give you ideas as you answer their pain points, that's the way we do it. And then it comes down to just good copy and thinking up a good headline and a good subtext. I am not a copywriter. I told you that a million times. Do your strengths. I love video. Let me say this. I meant to say this a minute ago because I told you I'd answer this question too. Why do I do video? I do video because it's fast. For me, Facebook Lives or Instagram Live kind of stuff, anytime I can repurpose this. In fact, some of this content right here will be repurposed on Instagram. And some of this content right here will get repurposed into little podcast blurbs. Some will get it transcribed. Once you have a team and some people around you who can do some of that stuff, you can get so much content out fast. But in the short term, if you don't have that team, pick the genre, the niche, the thing that you like doing the most, that's easiest to produce, and do it. Again, don't get fancy. I used to record all my videos when I was doing daily videos for my Facebook profile. I used to record all those ahead of time, do a little editing, use ScreenFlow, put my picture up in the top, have the slides down below, get them all ready, and take 3 or 4 hours to get a 30-minute video done, right? And then I release it on Facebook every day. I had time, that's cool, but what a waste. I learned that just jumping on, doing Facebook Lives was so much more efficient. Now, there's a trade-off there. The trade-off is this Facebook Live I can record, but it also looks and feels like a Facebook Live because I'm chiming in. Marnie, thanks, Chris. Have an awesome day. You too. I'm doing stuff like that. Marnie just shot me a message. I'm doing that. That kind of throws off a pre-recorded looking video that you can use somewhere else. But doing this off the cuff, just answering questions, gets content out there. You can do the same thing. If you're comfortable on video, jump in there. If you want to be comfortable on video, jump in and do it. I promise you'll get there. I wasn't always comfortable on video. It works out over time. Just be yourself. If you're more comfortable writing, then write. There's a lot of data that kind of supports. Some people like long form, short form on writing. Honestly, I would go short forms if you're starting, simply because you can drop out 300 to 500 words max. Like 200 to 300 words is the best, and drop a little bit of golden information on people in your Facebook or Instagram or wherever you hang out. That's super easy to do, and you can do that really fast. And if you go long form and spend 2 days writing this huge blog post that's 1,500 words, if you look back at that blog post, you could probably slice and dice that into like 5 to 7 mini posts, get a lot more content, because ultimately it comes down to the volume of content is more important when you're starting out than how deep your content is. If it's good and on point, short or long, it's going to hit, it's going to resonate. Whatever you can do to get the most content created quickly so you can keep a good pace going, that's what matters. Okay. I think exhausted that. Marnie, I run my lives through Otter and turn them into blog posts. Thank you, Marnie. I was actually looking at Otter like 10 minutes ago with Lucy, one of the folks on our team, because we were looking at doing the same thing. Actually, all of our Facebook stuff and any teaching you do from a paid group standpoint, like our Mastermind, all that kind of stuff. And in our Mastermind, we have multiple Q&As each week. And there's an enormous amount of content in those Q&As, right? That comes out and can be used as Q&A banks or blog posts. Anyway, awesome idea. Otter.ai is what that is. Anybody watching? Otter.ai. There's a free version, and it will, I think, up to 600 minutes per month. That's what, 10 hours? It'll jump in there and record your content and turn it into text. And it's pretty good, like 95% accurate. You might want to read through it when it's really pretty good. Cody, great to see you, man. And Mark, awesome to see you too. It's Transcriba then. Transcribe, yeah. It's transcribe them. Yeah, it transcribe. It transcribes them. I see what you're saying there, Marty. Yes. It's really cool. Having transcriptions done is so easy. I used to podcast a lot, and I paid a VA to do all the transcriptions that we found on Upwork. I think it was Odesk then. And anyway, that was, expensive. It was $25 to $45 per episode. And that got expensive. So it's way simpler and cheaper. Free version on Otter.ai, also an $8 version that gets you a lot more minutes. If you want like 100 hours a month, it's like $8 a month. Super cheap. Okay, that's all I got, folks. Have a fantastic Tuesday. And tomorrow, Brennan Hammond's on here, just diving deep into his, hey, what's up, Franklin? Into Brennan's knowledge base and just his insane amount of just information expertise, because of all he's done in his career is truly phenomenal. So tune in tomorrow. If you have questions about anything agency running, profitability, sales, the management. He's also done a lot on the software side. He's got a really cool service and product background from an agency model. So anyway, let's say Brent. Oh, it's okay, Franklin, you're late to the party. Oh, no worries. There's so many people that watch this after the fact. That's the way to go. And yes, Mark, Otter.ai is awesome. So tomorrow, Brennan, I keep getting distracted. Sorry. Tomorrow, Brennan, we'll have him on 10 o'clock Central. Whatever that is for you. Can't wait to see you there. Okay, that's it for me. Dennis, every episode here strikes a chord with me. Thanks. Dennis, you bet, man. Always great to see you here. Love having everybody hanging out. This has become a fantastic home for me during all this isolation time. And by the way, things are opening back up, right? So on that, just real quick on that, yes, things are opening back up. I was Zooming. My youngest child turned 13 yesterday, so we had a party for her, and of course, all family and friends are Zooming in. And my sister and her family were Zooming us from a freaking Mexican restaurant. Like they were at a restaurant eating dinner. It's happening. Things are opening up. So all that to say, wherever you are in your politics, whether you think things should open back up or not, that's not the point of this conversation. They are opening back up, right? Different states, different governors, different mayors, different groups are opening back up and things are happening. That emotional momentum, regardless of the political turmoil that goes around with that and everybody's philosophy on how you should be doing things right now, the emotional momentum is going to carry markets forward. Your clients, your business, your clients' clients are thinking and moving and looking for the next opportunity. Be out there, be active. This is the time. Thanks, Franklin. Congrats to her as well. This is the time to crush it and go after your marketing. Oh my goodness, be active. We've talked about that wave you got to catch and paddle, paddle, paddle to get that wave as it's cresting and coming forward. You see that swell coming and the wave starts to pick up. If you've ever surfed or watched surfers, this is the time you should be paddling. That wave has got momentum. It's moving. If you want to get new clients or bring your existing clients back online, this is the moment. All right. This is it. Don't let this wave pass you up. You bet, Brenda. I'll enjoy my day. You enjoy yours. Y'all all are awesome. And I will see you all tomorrow with Brennan, 10 Central.